Might come as a shock to some of you, considering especially some of the more controversial topics going on at this time. But I am a firm believer that space exploration is literally the most important thing that we could ever put our energy to on this planet as a society. And some of you might be like, why? Like, that's weird, you know? Like, that's the last thing on the list, because there's like racial issues and economic issues and all that. I'm going to cover it, I promise. There's a reason why I say that, but you're going to have to bear with me. I'm going to go over innovation, addressing issues as a whole between different countries, and also cultures. First off, innovation. Space exploration has brought about a ton of technological advancements. A lot of them are some that you don't even realize that you use now. Cell phone, obviously, that's a big one. But water purifiers. Water purification is a huge, huge problem that we're facing today. We're actually receiving a lot of our water from aquifers, which are basically giant oceans under the ground. Eventually this is going to dry up, so we have to make sure that we're learning how to take care of our planet. We've also received solar panels, heart monitors, cancer therapy, computers, and also GPS systems, satellites, stuff like that. It's all extremely important. The benefit of this is the economic return that we get from it, as well as the quality of life across the world increasing, which is super important. The great thing about investing in things like this is, as we grow and invest in space exploration, it actually gets cheaper, because that's a really big problem for a lot of people. They hear things like billions and millions of dollars are being invested into space, and they think that, oh, it's just going out the window. But really, it's all staying right here. We're investing in ourselves and our own technology. And that can be seen in companies like SpaceX. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of them. They're the world's first private space exploration company. And they've had a few successes and a few failures, but they're actually getting out there and doing it, which is awesome. Next up, we have addressing global issues. This is really important, because we have to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, right? So a big thing is partnering between other nations. Space exploration in itself actually draws nations together. It gets rid of old tensions and old rivalries, which is super important, because we're going to be living together in space, and eventually all of those tensions are going to go away. And in addition to that, other barriers are going to go away as well. Nobody cares if you're black or white, or if you're American or Russian. We're all going to be facing the dangers of space together. So it's a really great bonding experience for people. Another benefit would be, as our countries learn how to work together better, they can learn how to go and take care of our environment better. We actually have a huge problem. Satellites are falling apart in space, and these little pieces aren't coming down to the planet. So we're literally creating a web around the planet that soon we might not be able to escape, which is a really big problem. So as those relationships get better, we'll be able to work on stuff like that, and as well as emergency situations and things like that. So the International Space Exploration Coordination Group had been talking about how scientists in the past had no idea how much their experiments would affect the world now, and they're still growing on the things that we've learned. So investing now could mean new things that we have no idea what we could get out of it, so which is really great, because unknown benefits are always an awesome plus. So another really important factor is that as we go out into space and explore that, eventually, like, that's a totally unknown frontier, and it can always keep growing, and we can keep expanding what we're learning from that. But we can only learn so much on our own planet. So it's really wise for us to go and invest in things like that so that we can go and grow and actually keep learning. So as far as the cultural impact goes, I mentioned that a little bit earlier, how it's going to break down racial tensions and tensions between other countries, excuse me. It also gives people a sense of pause in their work as they go throughout that. People will understand that as they're working on machinery and robotics that will benefit us in this, that it's not just them, it's not just a paycheck, but people are actually depending on that stuff with their lives, which is super important. It gives people a sense of purpose, not only in their work, but we'll also be able to answer questions about life, like, are we alone out there? What all is going on around us, you know? There's tons of space weather and possibilities of asteroid impacts, things like that, that we really don't know much about. And so as we learn more and explore more into space, we'll be able to go and understand and answer those questions better. So, in conclusion, I would like to, I know that this is an informational speech, but it's always important to go and support and make sure that we're actually focusing on the future. Because right now, you can go and say, hey, we're just going to worry about fixing America now. That's a really big problem nowadays. But it's not just us. Because the world already is a huge web. People are impacting each other in ways that we really don't realize. So the sooner that we go and understand that we're all connected to each other, the sooner we can all understand that we can grow together.